Hello, Dr. Coker here, and this is a guide to the Antitower. This dungeon was modified in patch 6.3, and this guide has been updated accordingly. Please like and subscribe. I'm releasing guides for every story dungeon and trial in the game, so you always know what's coming. Let's get started. The first boss is Zuro Roggo. He does a few basic AoE attacks like Water Bomb, but they are marked. Just make sure you step aside. He will spawn bubbles around the room. Just avoid them because after a while they explode and do damage around them. Odious Croak is an attack he does that has no marker and no cast bar, but it does constant AoE damage in a conal pattern in front of him. Just step out of it to avoid damage. Frog Song is a cast that has a few parts to it. First of all, it does damage every second to every player. It also turns two players into frogs, and they will be targeted with AoE attacks the whole time. These two players should avoid others so they aren't hit by the AoE. Also, two Choir Toads will spawn, and they must be killed to stop the Frog Song. This will return the frog players back to normal as well. Late in the fight, he will cast Toy Hammer. This smacks the tank with a heavy hit and stuns them for 10 seconds. During this time, the boss will cast Odious Croak on the tank and do constant damage. Note that the stun on the tank can be removed though. The second boss is Ziggy. Sometimes he'll open with Gyrating Glare, which deals moderate damage to all players. Just heal through it. He will also spawn 4 adds called Stardust. After a few seconds, they will all explode, dealing large circular AoE damage. Move to an edge between 2 of them to avoid this. The Stardust will stay behind as inert rocks, which we'll use later. Jittering Glare is a narrow conal AoE. Just step aside to avoid the damage. With Jittering Jounce, one player will have an orange target on them. They should run behind a rock quickly because this will prevent damage from the Jounce. The Jounce will then trigger the rock to explode, so just step away from it after that to avoid the blast. This will repeat 1 or more times. Jittering Jab is a simple tank buster. Use mitigation and healing as needed. The final boss is Calcabrina. Initially, the encounter will involve 6 dolls, 3 labeled Calca and 3 labeled Brina. They will frequently cast complex AoE patterns, but there are plenty of safe places to stand to avoid the damage. Once all 6 are killed, they will fuse into one large doll, Calcabrina. She'll cast Terrifying Glance, which has no cast bar, but it puts a big red eye marker over one player. Just look away to avoid being hit with damage and confusion. Also, be aware that it hits in a large cone, so if you're even close to another player that has the eye marker, you should look away as well. Knockout is a tank buster. Just use mitigation and healing as needed. With Brace, you will briefly see purple shields appear in 3 directions around her, then they'll vanish. For the next several seconds, you will only be able to hit her from the direction where no shield appeared. If you hit her from a protected side, it will reflect the damage and hit you with a knockback. She has a combo with Dollhouse and Slapstick. Dollhouse will turn 2 players into enemy dolls, while Slapstick deals raid-wide damage every second or so. The dolls will attack the remaining players and cast AoEs. Free players need to burn down the 2 dolls to get the other players back. When this is done, Slapstick may still continue for several seconds, but it will eventually stop. And that's it for the Antitower, updated for patch 6.3. Good luck, have fun, and see you next time.